Hi everyone, welcome to Hunter Gatherer Cooking. I'm doing another video at the Stalking Show 2024. I'm live with James Adams-Foord today, who is a firearms safety instructor. I met James probably just over a year or so ago for my firearm safety, which I am absolutely convinced helped me get through my application for my license. We met on the day at Brace's training ground. He had no idea really who I was or what I was doing. I think you were just briefed that someone was coming to do a bit of filming.
Yeah.
Dare I say it, I think we became good friends after that. We've done many videos. If you've been following the channel, we've done a little walkthrough for DSC1, which I really enjoyed. And James actually came with me over to Blaser in Germany, which was brilliant. So one of the things for me, when I certainly talked, I'm going to jump straight into this, is when I had my firearms interview, one of the things that we talked about a lot was safety, and for obvious reasons, I think it's really important. So having someone like James who's offering a course that you can actually go and do for any beginner, even an experienced person, I would say is a must. I would definitely sort of recommend it. So over to you, James. Yeah. Tell me more about.
Well, that's a good point what you made there. Really, it is all levels of experience, because I would say I probably get more trouble with the very experienced, knowledgeable guy who's become a little bit complacent. You know, we all get a little bit slack. I sometimes get guys turning up to the range, bolts in the back of the gun. So they start to make little mistakes that aren't breaking the law as such, but they're starting to break our safety rules, and so they need kind of just steering back on course again. So novices are actually a lot more scared almost of the firearms, so they're inherently more careful. Yeah, you're like, blimey, what do I do? And that's our job then, to get you comfortable with handling it and taking safe shots, knowing what a safe shot is to begin with, and putting you through that training program where, like you did, you rightly came first of all for a safety course, introduction to firearms, what end does the bullet come out of the gun, very basic stuff, how to handle it and take a safe shot, and then on to taking marksmanship principles and taking an accurate and safe shot so that you can do justice when it comes to the deer that you've shot.
Yeah, we did do a video about that firearm safety. It's not a walkthrough. It doesn't go through the whole course, but I think it gives a good flavour. And certainly as a beginner, that was I've never fired a rifle at that point. That was the first time I'd done that, and to a degree, I knew which end it come out of, but it wasn't condescending. It was really, really relaxed. It's very much classroom based, and then in the afternoon it was sort of more practical, going out on the range and sort of practicing what you've just learnt about, really. So I thought it was great. Are the firearms safety courses, are they enforced at times? Do the police, do they ever say you need to do this, either for someone renewing or someone perhaps they've done something or anything? Are they enforced? Can they be made to do these? Or?
So the type of people I'm getting coming and doing the courses are complete novices that have had no experience with firearms whatsoever, but want to start the process of owning a firearm. And I represent Avon and Somerset Constabulary, and we develop this safety course that we do with them to cover as much as we can on law, handling of firearms, everything you basically need to know, and put that foundation down so that you can then go on and pursue, whether it be target shooting or stalking or whatever you want to go on and do after that, really. But it has become quite compulsory. It used to be advisory, but since the incident in Plymouth a few years ago, a lot of constabularies have really tightened up on who's owning, especially larger caliber, 30 caliber, and bigger rifles. You might have had a 223 for foxing for 20 years, but you want to shoot some deer, so you go for a 308 caliber. And I've seen guys with probably more experience than me having to do the safety course in order to have to apply for that larger caliber. So yes, it is almost become compulsory.
And the police will request that is done.
Yeah.
Insist? Request?
I would almost say insist. If you've really got no experience, land, you're not a member of a gun club, this really is your way into owning a firearm, or the first port of call, really.
Yeah.
Because like anything these days, you've got that certificate that Avon and Somerset Constabulary recognise and say, okay, great, we've got a certificate, we've ticked that box.
Yeah.
It used to be done a lot more on like mentorship schemes. Peter, like me, and Peter Gibbon, we'll know we used to mentor quite a lot of people, and it used to be that our word was good enough for the constabulary to let you have a firearm. But now, like the way the world is, you want some bit of paper, and that's better for you as well. You've got something in writing.
I am convinced that when I obviously have got my ticket through, prior to that, obviously the interview, but I am convinced that I hope I demonstrated that I'd done everything that I possibly could to be as safe as possible.
Well, I thought it was very sensible of Avon and Somerset to issue your ticket because you didn't tick some of the boxes. So you were never going to go and try and manage a whole estate and have 3,000 acres of land assigned to your name. We explained to them what you want to do is to own a firearm and be able to go stalking with people like Peter and Matt and myself and up to Scotland, go different, maybe even abroad one day. You're not actually looking for the land. So again, they're like, well, okay, as the law states in the UK, you're supposed to be able to demonstrate where and when you're going to use that firearm. You can't just say, I want one because I want one, they look sexy on the wall. It's not going to do it. So you didn't tick some of those boxes, but we sensibly got you through it, and look, sensibly, Avon and Somerset were, hospitable towards you as well, and said, yeah, fair enough. Alex has done everything we've asked of him. You've recorded all the data, every stalk you went on. You've got your certificates, health and safety, even. Write it all down and present it to your constabulary.
I think I got that advice from you in terms of keeping a diary of everything that I'd done. And I mean, I recorded everything, not even specific practical experience. I even put down about like reloading with Matt and things like that. Just the fact that I'd seen it so that I knew about it. Yeah. I've now changed the diary now, so I've got like a big circle for when I've shot the deer. So I'm like, so there's three of those now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, on that subject, I couldn't be more happy, proud when you bring someone through our kind of training, mentorship kind of process, and you go out, and how many deer have you shot, and how many shots have you had?
3.
Brilliant. You can't. There's no better than that.
3 out of 3. It makes me nervous though.
Well,
but actually, and I say this all the time, part of my application was that I was saying to the officer that I'm using a different gun, a different optic, in a different land, like everything was different, and I said for safety reasons, I wanted to, when I pulled the trigger, I want it to go where I think it should be going.
More credit to you, because you're a big lad as well, so not a lot of stuff fits you, you've got a long reach, you're tall on the stick, so like you say, you've had to handle, equipment that you're not familiar with. I've seen some of the videos, you're in some tricky little positions as well, off of a stick,
Well, that one was literally, he turned around, he said, are you doing this? I was like, okay, bang.
And that's when then the training kicks in, the muscle memory, that time you spent on the range shooting 50 bullets with me prior to going out and, pulling the trigger on an animal, that's when all that training pays off, and it kicks in, and you do the animal justice, which is what we want ultimately.
I've spoken to James before, but I'm in the position now where I've got my ticket. We're obviously at the show now. I'm having lots of discussions with people about what I'm going to be purchasing next. We did sort of touch upon some different rifles recently. For me, again, as probably a safety aspect, is I've said to you before, I want to get my rifle, I want to be left alone, I want to go to the range, and I just want to find my comfort, find my muscle memory, and just kind of embrace it and go with it.
Yeah, exactly. As you found probably in this industry, you got a lot of people just honestly just trying to be helpful, in your ear, telling you this is what caliber, what gun you want, this is how you shoot, this is what you do, this is how you breathe.
The
probably
issues
a
that
bit
I've
overwhelming.
had, the issue I've had is that there are so many opinions out there, and there's nothing wrong with that, because that's just based on their experience. But you get told one thing by one person, and then you get told something else by the other person. And for me, I've always been the type of person that I'll listen to everyone, and I'll pick the bit that I think that I can relate to, or I think will be best for me.
From my point of view, that's what an instructor or a coach should be. He shouldn't be teaching you the way he does it. He should be teaching you many different ways, giving you all the information to process, and then you're smart enough to then work out what works for you, and then go out there and put it into practice. If something doesn't work, change it, or if it does work, stick with it. I'm always wary of those guys that say, no, this is the way you do it. I think, instruction or coaching should be showing you lots of different ways. I've encouraged you to go out with lots of different, guys and girls, see how they stalk, see what works for you. You'll find an environment you like. Do you like Scotland? Do you like woodland stalking?
They're all different, and they're so different. The way that you walk and behave, it's completely different.
And you've been great. Go out there and try it all and see what works. And,
I might be going to see Norman in Ireland at some point.
So Sika?
Or some Sika, yeah.
Fantastic, great. So, I'm quite jealous of some of the trips you've got to go on, and especially that shot in Scotland was fantastic. The scenery, everything about it was perfect.
The hill was like that.
Yeah, crazy.
Davey was like, we're going up there.
Yeah.
I will put all of your contact details in the description of the video.
If anybody just wants an introduction to firearm safety, and anybody under 18 can come free of charge for 3 or 4 hours with me, and I'll give them the basics on firearm safety. That's really important. Mums and dads out there that maybe got a child wants a bow and arrow, even an air rifle.
What age would you take from?
I do train. I've got a great girl at the moment, a lovely lady called Seraphine. She's 16 years old, looking at maybe getting into MI5, MI6, wants to know how to handle a firearm. Obviously with her, we just very much work on air rifles and teaching her the ballistics and stuff like that. So, but any age really, we get kids at the range 10, 11 years old, but especially with air rifles, I encourage the parents to come and find someone like me, let's say under 18s, free of charge, to give them the basic information on, the 4 fundamentals of shooting, get some shots down range safely, how to reload, how to, pack the gun away and take it home. And so mum and dad are happy, and the kids are happy as well. But, same for adults. I'm going to charge an adult, but, I definitely encourage it. Because it gets us all on the same page, and
if everyone's safe, then touch wood, we wouldn't have any problems.
We've got a good reputation, as a sport, if you like to put it that way. This is one of the safest things you can do, and we want to keep it that way because it's guns. If there was ever a problem, the government are going to overreact, a little bit like what happened in Plymouth.
Same in any situation, there's always an overreaction to it because they never want it to happen.
And because it's guns, it's going to spark a lot of people who don't understand firearms in the UK and stuff. It's going to spark a lot of their anger towards us and stuff. So we've got to keep on our toes and keep it safe.
I genuinely, I cannot recommend the course enough. As a beginner, certainly as a beginner, but I think as a refresher for anyone, I think that would be really, really good. And I think with the audience that I've started to build in the last sort of year or two, I don't think, if there's some pros watching, amazing, but I'm hoping that some novices that are coming through can relate to a lot of all of this. I was bricking it. When I came and fired the first shot and the first deer and things, it's just all nerves, but it's trying to overcome that and remembering everything, that. And I remember when I was in Scotland, I had your little voice in my head, stay calm.
Relax,
But the best thing is I remember you and Pete said the same thing. You don't have to take the shot. If you're not comfortable, you don't have to, and there's no shame in walking away.
There comes a point where it's all on you. I can no longer help you. It comes down to you, and I've always again encouraged, you don't have to take the shot. That deer will walk somewhere else. You can try again in an hour, you can try again in a day, a week, a year, whenever. Know your limits and and make the decision for yourself. Don't let a guide bully you into shooting something because he's on a bonus or a commission, or take responsibility for yourself and make that decision for yourself. What we call forcing the shot. If you force a shot, that's when it goes wrong and you get problems. So touch wood, so far we've been doing well. So may long it continue.
So I'm going to be going out with James as soon as possible, really.
Yeah. We get fit into your schedule when you're not doing something else.
Well, after the show, we should be a lot quieter, but then I'll just get busy because I booked something in. So I'll be going out with James hopefully for a stalk, and we'll see how he does it because I've not actually seen him out in the wild. If you've got any questions for James, drop them in the comments below. Either James will come back directly, or I'll come back if I see it first. Please remember to hit that subscribe button, give the video a like, and we'll see you for the next video.